I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Man's best friend is a howl. Max the dog really has bite. Like a psychotic lassie or a canine Terminator. I was at the edge of my seat. I loved this film. Move over, Cujo, and make room for Max. Man's Best Friend, rated R, coming soon to a theater near you.
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to see another review. There's another paid request, this time from Sean. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any other type of videos, reviews, topics, reactions, re-reviews, or something else entirely, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. Now this is for the 1993 film Man's Best Friend. Which I always gotta remember, sometimes I put the poster, so I'll be like, hey, the poster's covering it, so... Yeah, this is the... Companion Protector Killer. Yeah, that's totally not Terminator. And no, the dog is not part robot, like the cover says. And that looks like, you know, the Terminator, the same gun, the laser lighting. And of course, Lance is in Terminator, so it just... I guess that was their way of selling it. It's not a robo dog. It's a genetically enhanced dog. Now the film, I know it got a Blu-ray. I don't know if there's any features on it. If you have the Blu-ray, feel free to let me know how the features are. It's directed by John Lafia, who also wrote it, and sadly he has passed away. Now he directed Child's Play 2, which I think is a very solid sequel. I'm guessing it's the success of that that led him to this. Now, at the end of the day, I like the movie. I don't love it. I would put Cujo above this. But this is better than shit like Rottweiler or that film called Dogs from the 70s. Because it's an entertaining B-movie at the end of the day. It has its issues, but the good outweighs the bad. The plot is pretty simple. Ally Sheedy from Short Circuit and the Breakfast Club. There she is right there. Right there. Without the glare. She plays a reporter doing a research of this genetic facility. Her and her friend break in. They find all of these animals, including this dog named Max. I forget what breed of dog he is. I'm not good with that. If you let me know, what kind of breed of dog is this? I mean, I know it's not a German Shepherd, but yeah, that right there. See, I suck at that. I know, I'm stupid. Max follows them. She takes him home, especially after a point where Max protects her from a robber ready to fuck her up. she starts to grow in a bond with the dog, and the dog wants to be a protector. Meanwhile, Lance Henriksen, who works at this facility, wants to find this dog as soon as possible. Because as Lance says, without this drug, he's going to have a psychotic break, and he's just going to snap. And that this dog is a genetically enhanced guard dog. Superior, why can't I talk? Superior sight, hearing, strength, and intelligence. And yeah, he's got a lot of shit put into his DNA. I mean, to the point it does get fucking ridiculous. It just, yes, it's a silly film. Okay, it could climb trees like a cat. It swallows an entire cat like it's a fucking snake. It could go super fast. But it even has piss for acid. They'll piss and acid comes out. And it can turn invisible because it's part chameleon. So I'm surprised this dog can't fly. Why didn't you put a bird with him? Do you imagine the dog just going... The fucking Crypto. He's that far away from being Crypto the fucking dog from Superman comics. But, okay, with that said, I like the dog. Very cute looking dog. Very well trained. I don't know how many dogs they use, because in some of these films they use multiple dogs for certain things. I don't know how many there were. And they did a really nice job training the dog to do certain things, to look vicious, to look mean, and chase sequences. Nicely done. I appreciate the fact that it's back in the day of 1993 where you don't have bad CGI. It's a lot of the real dog, and a few bits of a fake dog is effects done by Kevin Yeager. Kevin Yeager worked on effects in some of the Child's Play films and many other movies, and I'm guessing John Lafia worked with them on Child's Play 2. And they work fairly well, like when the dog swallows the entire fucking cat after it chases up a tree. And like I said, I appreciate this is the day and age where you could take this silly B-movie idea and give it a certain budget and production. Like, this went into theaters. This was a New Line Cinema film. It's not a film that cost $500,000 or $1 million. There's some money put into this. It's a sleek-looking production. There's nothing in it I thought looked cheap. Like I said, the way the dog is trained. Ally Sheedy, I liked her as an actress. There's not much to her character. It's not like you know much about her character. She's a reporter. She has this boyfriend. It's like, oh man, you brought this dog home. You didn't talk to her with me. Which I can understand his line of thinking. I really can. I'm not sure if his name is Frederic Lehne. I could be wrong. But I get his point of view. Because I'm not a big dog guy. But like, what the fuck? You brought this home? But he's at least trying his best, I thought. Lance Henriksen, when he appears, he's a great actor. Always nice to see him in there. Part of me would have been cool to see the movie from his point of view. But I get why they did it the other way. Some of the action scenes, especially in the third act, are nicely shot. The chase scene, I always remember from the movie Friday, because this movie was featured in Friday, and Johnny Witherspoon is watching on TV, which makes sense because they're both New Line Cinema films, and he's watching the dog grab the mailman. It's your ass, Mr. Mailman. And in the movie, it's nicely shot with slow motion, and the mouth on the neck, nicely shot. And like I said, when you get to the third act, there's a point where the dog gets on the windshield and is breaking through the windshield, and this beautiful car crash, and her running around the facility where the dog's chasing her. You get some POV shots. Again, you get some nice bits of that. Direction by John Lafia. So why do I not love it? And I thought about this for a minute. This movie, it tries to have this sense of humor that I don't think works the best. Like, some people, they say it's Cujo meets Beethoven. I think it's the Beethoven portion that bothers me with this. I can get the idea of her bonding with this dog. The dog treats her well, but everyone else like a villain. I can kind of get that. But, okay, for example, you go from one scene where the dog is watching through a peephole, and you see it up close to the eye, Kevin Yeager's work, watching Ally Sheedy and her boyfriend fuck. And he's watching them fuck, and he's grounded. So it's weird to have a dog who's a peeping Tom, and it makes me go, does he want to fuck her? There's also a scene where she's rubbing the belly, and he's moaning like he's in heat. Because Ally Sheedy's rubbing his belly. I'm like, this is just weird. Just weird. And when he's looking through the peephole, the music does sound like music that would be in Beethoven. That seems like a creepy moment. It should be a creepy moment when he's looking and the couple is fucking. That seems creepy, but the music is playing like a scene that would be out of Beethoven. Very light and airy. Da, da, da. And Joel Goldsmith's music is not bad. Joel Goldsmith is related to Jerry Goldsmith. And sadly, Joel Goldsmith has passed away, like Jerry. And Joel, he did the score to Watchers, which I love the score to Watchers. And in fact, the opening music to this, I think, is well done. I really enjoy the opening intro during the opening credits, the music in that. But there are points where it's being very light and airy with the music, as I'm sure told by the director, and like, that doesn't work when a few minutes later, the kid's like, Sika Max, you get him Max, and it goes up, and it literally swallows this cat, which is the creepiest fucking scene in the movie. Now, maybe because I love pussy, and I love cats, I love both. I don't, number one, I lose any sympathy with Max when he does that. Because the cat didn't fucking deserve it. Yeah, the cat went, but he didn't scratch Max, didn't hurt Max, didn't do anything to Max, went, that's it. Because you're a stranger. I'd hiss at you too. But then to swallow the cat, to me, that's the creepiest moment in the entire fucking movie. And then immediately the kids are like, it was your fault. No, it was your fault. No, it was your fault. And the kids their reaction is humorous. Not creeped out. You ever seen where a dog completely swallows a cat in its mouth? And the music and the kid actors and the way it's directed, they add more humorous. The music is light and airy. The kids, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. I like, why is this being made to look like this is a comedic moment? Oh, how that silly dog. He completely swallowed and ate this cat in one go. And now the cat is probably living inside its stomach. That's so hilarious. Or it rapes a dog, a sweet-looking, lassie-looking dog, rapes it, because the dog doesn't want anything to do with it, it's scared. And the music is, they call it puppy love. While this sweet-looking dog, the nice puppy, is getting raped. And I'm like, what the fuck? to me, that's one of the reasons why this film doesn't work 100% for me. And then the movie, I don't think is as brutal or as intense as it could be because of this. Like, you look at Cujo. Why Cujo works so effectively. When that dog gets there, it's intense. It's a danger. And I did. They don't want to be exactly like Cujo. I did it. They want to have this, the Frankenstein monster factor. He didn't ask for this. But I don't think it's 100% on, like, the boyfriend didn't really deserve all that he got. The cat, they didn't deserve what they got. The dog getting raped. So if you try to give a sympathy with the Max, for me, it's lost. And I think the dog is cute looking. I think he's well trained. But it's like, I don't feel bad for him when he dies. For some, they do. That's fine. And then some of the outrageous stuff, like, okay, he literally becomes a fucking chameleon, an invisible dog. You know, okay, that's a bit too far. Bit too far. Why does he do that all the time? Why isn't he invisible all the time? Like, he wanted to get back at the boyfriend. Why wasn't he invisible? Why wasn't he invisible then? Why didn't he? Okay, there's a point where they get to. I believe the actor's name is William. Is it William Sanderson? He was He was an actor in Blade Runner. He's been in quite a few stuff. If you remember the TV show Newhart, he's a guy who's like, "This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl." He's in this. Who works at this junkyard, and he's got him chained up. And the guy's. Why didn't the dog become invisible then? If this, they talk about how smart he is. He could turn invisible. The guy looked, what the fuck? Like, that would be the moment that would seem the invisible portion would make more sense. He turned invisible. Like, what the fuck? How did he get out? Same with this junkyard guy. He walks up. He's going to check the chain. He grabs the guy. And then you see it, and then kills him. Instead, it's saved for these two goofy animal dog catchers. These dog catchers. And then they run away as if you're waiting for the Benny Hill music to play. So it tries to have these moments of comedy that I wish it was more serious and less comedic. Some people disagree, but I think that's what makes it less intense. And my favorite portion is the finale, which is the most intense. With Ally Sheedy and Lance, and the dogs try to get through the windshield. And granted, it's at this point, Ally Sheedy has a little puppy. She puts the puppy under the seat, like under the, you know, you're in the passenger seat and the dashboard, and you have where your feet are. She puts the puppy there. The fucking car flies 200 feet. Crashes. She is this bloodied up. Well, you can't see it here. She's bloodied up, but the puppy is perfectly fine. Lance is busted up. She's busted up, but the little puppy, who had no seatbelt, is a little dinky puppy under the and it went. But it's fine. Not even a fucking scratch on it. I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck did that happen? How's that puppy alive? I don't want the puppy dead, but how the fuck is that puppy alive? Oh, that's right. Even the way it ends. It's cool. Spoiler alert, I guess, where Lance raises the shotgun while Max hits him. Shoots Max. Cool shot where Max, the dog, gets shot, and nice effects by Kevin Yeager and however they did that. I'm guessing it was. It's not. I would doubt it's a real dog. It looks good. The way the dog gets shot and blasted back. Lance flies back. Lands on a railing. cool. But then the comedy comes in with the little puppy who loves the plug-ins. The little puppy plugs in something, and that electrocutes Lance Henriksen and kills him. But the little puppy, is cute. He's got a little plug-in. I went, what the fuck? But that's what happened. That's what happened. I'm like, okay. Another thing about the ending that's weird. The boyfriend, who didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, he tried to poison the dog, which made sense because the dog tried to murder him by ripping up his car so he didn't have any brakes. But there's a point where the dog pisses on his face and it's acid, so he gets burned. And he's taken to the hospital, and the guy says he'll be alright. Well, it's months later. You never see that guy. You see Ally Sheedy, you see the kid she's friends with, and you see these puppies from the dog that got raped. What happened to the guy? Did he say, I guess he said, fuck this. We're over. I'm dumping your ass. Which I can't blame him. But I mean, not even a... Okay, nothing about it, I guess. Whatever. Is he permanently scarred? Is like Arseface from Preacher? The comic book. Like, I don't know. Is he the Elephant Man? Eraserhead? I don't fucking know. But whatever. So, I do have issues with it, with how silly it gets. Certain points that don't make sense, like the puppy being perfectly fucking fine. You would call a nitpick, that's fine. To me, like, what the fuck? It's like, oh, the dog even goes chameleon. It, whatever the fuck it wants to. No time before it says, there are plenty of times that dog could go fucking invisible, and it doesn't. Just because. But, with that said, it's entertaining because it's a crazy plot, but at least they have a budget, a slick production, some of Kevin Yeager's effects, the dog is well trained, the look, Lance Henriksen, I wish he was in the film more, but when he's there, he brings it, he doesn't sleepwalk through it. I like Ally Sheedy. I can't really say there's much to her character, but it's nice to see her in this type of movie. And like I said, there's decent attack sequences, particularly the third act, but like when he chases the mailman and such. So, and like Kevin Yeager, when the dog swallows that cat, it pretty damn effective scene. So effective, made me not like Max anymore. I'm like, I kind of lose the sympathy you're trying to delve into. So, I liked it. I don't love it. I still put Cujo above it, but because of his entertaining B-movie quality and some of the cast, one of the top, like these two tops, one of them is Robert Costanzo. You remember Die Hard 2, the guy who gave John McClane the ticket at the beginning of Die Hard 2, the cop? That's Robert Costanzo. He's one of the cops in this. As I knew I recognized him. And, it's fun for what it is, but I do think it has its issues. So, it is, I guess it's on Blu-ray from Scream Factory, if you're a fan of it. Yeah, I don't know if it has features or how the features are. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, we'll see you guys later. And rest in peace to Mr. John Lafia. Because I do think directing-wise, he did fine. He did fine, just like he did in Child's Play 2. I don't really have much... I mean, maybe a few issues with his writing, but not too much his directing. It's a pretty decent flick. I liked it. So rest in peace, Mr. John Lafia. May you rest in peace. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.